Hello, everybody, and welcome back to, I believe it's season 4. I don't know. But the Memorial Island or the Memorial Caldera. Because basically, how I saw this was, oh, and I wonder if, sorry, that's besides the point. What we're going to do is we're going to make a safe place for the sheep. And by safe place, I mean literally like a hole in the ground for now. Wait, really? Oh, oops. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And then you come this way. Now you go. Okay. As long as it's too deep, then they're stuck there. And actually, you go ahead and let's try to get a black end. You know, nice. Okay, because we have white sheep, and really, once we have dyes, then we can really dye them whatever color. But I want to make a couple little farms, mostly a cow farm. And see, already we need more seeds. And see, it's just perpetual doing these things. But anyways, we should name this episode Bollywood Bangers, because basically, I was just having a chuckle about you think about how we think we're so different from animals, yet the flashier the mating ritual, the better the chance of a mate and the better the chance of procreating and creating new life. Well, it's a tale as old as time. So, anyways, my point of that being is like, and Bollywood, just like like the dancing spiders or whatever that have the flashy, just the flashy bodies that do all this cool stuff. Like, that just seems silly. And we're like, oh, what would that be? Or like birds, how they chirp and because I was hearing this comedy thing or a YouTube video where they were reenacting some comedian, their comedian's bit. And they're just like, have you ever noticed how perverted bird watchers are? They like call out a thing that's like, "Hey, want to mate, want to mate," and then next thing you know, the bird comes saying, "Yeah, I do want to mate," and then you just watch him through the binoculars, and it's like, well, when you put it that way, it seems really creepy. Actually, did I just have a dark realization that sometimes bird watchers might want to actually watch like bird porn? Oh my gosh. And maybe because they're fascinated with just like reproduction and, they're curious. I don't know. It's just like same like the joke, like, do you want to go see a donkey show? And like because like, I forget what I think that movie was like Zoltan or something. I don't know. I used to watch a lot of really dumb comedies when I was younger and smoking pot. Like and it was just and you'd see a bunch of these things. You'd be like, what did I even watch? And or like Bad Trip is hilarious. I forget what the guy's name is. It's not. Wow. I like the random sound effects. It sounds like dial-up kind of, but like in a cave. But then not quite dial-up, so it's like still, I don't know. And then it's like static or something, electric. I don't know. But it's just said I don't know 3 times in a row. So then Saturday Night Live might just have a character be like, I don't know, overly exaggerating, like you know. And I'd be really tickled if there was like an artificial intelligence that's already being built off of my voice and could just say the. But then you'd have to really program that I guess through a lot of machine learning and watching a lot of my videos to really get a sense of my unique personality. So I don't know. Oh, and I heard another YouTuber talking like the Joker. I want to do that one day, but maybe after I've been more established as an educator. Like we don't need and I'll explain all of that one day too. But it's funny now, but just the kind of the concept of like a space prophet or like a space type of Jesus or something. Oh, it's hilarious. Anyways, yeah, we'll do the big reveal once I hit 10 million subscribers. There we go. Now I'm all thinking about like, should I start putting? Because I do want to look into like how you add like the like and subscribe buttons, but in an unoffensive way. And like I think that's the thing too. And I think because it is effective, and I don't know, it's cool to ask like or remind people because a lot of people don't really know how to use YouTube until they do, and then it's like oh, and then even if they do, like people might forget to retroactively like with Waddles and Fighting Cowboy. Or wait, I say that, but even now I might want to check. I know I at least did with Waddles. I made sure to go back and like all of his videos that I'd watched. And with Fighting Cowboy, I know I liked a lot of the Dark Souls ones, and I've watched him live stream, and I've even commented in his live streams. But like, just saying, like, just trying to be nice too, polite, like to really support a content creator, you got to kind of just be like, well, it's like supporting anyone. Like support them from afar. Don't be creepy, and then, maybe have some constructive input. And then when you don't have anything really good to say, just be cool with just watching. Like, it's really, really straightforward. But there's also the need for mod bots. And actually, I'm still okay. I did make an alarm. I'm still surprised that I even have space because I that's one of my projects is I have to unload, offload a lot of these recordings. I mean, I've been deleting a lot of them, but I try to make it to where I'm cautious. There we go. I was like, don't jit me on the seeds again. One seed. I need to make a. That's just it. That's what I'll do. I will make a composter. And now we have quite a bit of cherry wood. So now I could do. Let's do some planks. Oh, actually, let's deposit some stuff. Jeez. Just random stuff. Like, we lost our llamas. We found out wolves eat llamas. That's new. I did not know that. It's interesting because, oh, and let's actually make a furnace. And yeah, you should really have a furnace, crafting table, and then your other peripherals. Like, I have a cartography table because I also wanted to, yeah. And then we could do like this way. And even have like two furnaces back here. In fact, yeah, let's do it. Kind of like how I have in the setup. Because usually I have like the one furnace, but then, what if you have gold and iron? So we have iron ore here. And we are going to make a mine out of here too. So this is the memorial house for, well, right now, the dads that passed away, the day after Father's Day. Spend the day of Father's Day celebrating. And the day after, I don't know. I'm just splitting it up. But that's how people tend to do things. Is like, I know someone went to a funeral yesterday, and it's like seemed a little weird, on Father's Day, but then it's also kind of like showing respect for your elders and Mother's Day too. And I'm not the best at Mother's Day, and I admit that. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of cherry wood now. In fact, we could take a whole stack of this and make some chests. Bada bing. But I wanted to clear out my inventory, and boom. So now, I could do, whoops. There, just mass storage for for this settlement. I mean, this memorial. Like, we're gonna have a farm. We're gonna have crops. We're gonna be feeding the animals. And notice I'm not really doing a great farm yet. I don't have a lot of space, and those sheep aren't really safe. In fact, next thing I'm gonna do, and this is gonna seem a little mean and inhumane, but just watching Better Call Saul, like, to save someone's life, they had to do a thing, but then also to save a bunch of other lives, they had to do a thing, and all because of pride and taking care of your family. And remember those rippling circles. Like, if I wanted to get crazy with it and like avenge anybody that's ever died in my family, well, first I'd have to take on the United States government because a lot of them have been military and have died in wars and stuff. So there's that. But then, but I'm not vengeful like that. I mean, I'd rather move forward, forgive and forget, but then make it to where it doesn't happen again. The scalable solution for squashing an issue permanently instead of using a half measure. Hmm. Ooh. God, is that you? And that could be anyone. Like I love South Park because they brought up the idea of like Scientology, like what that's all about. And it's based on the science fiction writings of L. Ron Hubbard, I believe, and then and just believing that it's religion. Like that makes the most sense. And if you think about it, like kind of part of it does make the most sense to me too. And I'm not trying to convert anyone to Scientology. That just sounds so random, like out of context. But no, it's just like if you think about it, the idea of souls, so already like a very human concept that we all have souls and that they go up to heaven. That's Christianity. Like that's the main basis. It's like be kind and then you'll be rewarded in the next life. Like even if you need a reason to be kind, you really shouldn't need a reason. You should just be like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." Like, treat others as you want to be treated. And so then that's another catchy phrase. I'm like, "Okay, cool." And and see even just knowing that and the people that generally Christians are tend to be more nice and everything. However, because of their issues with homosexuality, they are rather not nice or Nazistic towards the gay community or the LGBTQ homosexual. Anyone who's even been curious about being homosexual. See, there you go. So like, you really need to discern that because if someone did something, that's kind of a thing. Like, I don't know. It's well, let's see. How do you go about that? Well, anyways, it's just sorry. I'm trying to explain how I know. Like I've talked to people that have told me about like going to gay camps, and then there was also, I believe, a South Park where Butters goes to a gay camp, a pray the gay away, and then they end up falling in love or something, or maybe or like some gay kid in South Park, he goes to a camp, and then and see, it's even weird for me to say gay for like meaning like lesbian. And I think that's why LGBTQ came out because people didn't really understand. Wait, no, that's gay, and like, well, that's homosexuality, but like, oh, right, we won't even say humans or Homo sapiens for fear of sounding too nerdy. Like now you're wanting to say homosexuality instead of just like homo, but homo is like kind of mean and derogatory, like you person or you dude, and then it's like not really showing respect in the language, so in the communication it's kind of like spitting on a paper instead of signing it and handing it to somebody, like it's kind of like that, or spitting on their shoes, or all of the things that people used to do to gay people and to black people and to Native American people, like all of these things. It's human nature to try to oppress people and conquer people, and yet when we do it then we're surprised. And that's the thing, is we shouldn't be doing it because it's not needed anymore. Also, yeah, I was gonna say I forgot one in here. You can just see this puffball, or it's kind of like Horton Hears a Who. And then yeah, over time, I think those falling petals, but they have to be there for a while and build up. So we're gonna have to have like some real time spent here. So maybe, yeah, I need to get. Let's see, what do I have crop wise? I do have my stack of saplings. I do have a lot of wood. I think I can cool it on that now, but let's start doing the dirt and making it more spread out. See, even to do that, like, oh, the lightning and the thunder. So to keep it like a true, I don't even know if it has to be a caldera. I don't really care, but like it could be a plateau, just like Memorial Island. And then I'm thinking about even building like walls and ramparts around it, but at the same time, like not completely, because like, well, there's no functionality. First of all, I'm not going to have ships of people attacking, and even if I did, yeah, how much do I want to defend Memorial Island? Like, you know, I didn't sign up for this. Sorry, and that's the truth too. Like military service, and something that we've been talking about in the Twitters. And this was actually really cool. Raising the military age to 25. Now, a lot of people are going to spit out their milk at that, or their water, their gum. It's like, what? Maybe not gum, but spray some liquid that they were drinking all over something, and then yeah, making a generic like. Sorry, just thinking about Osimo, like how it's funny, but then it's sad, and then it's like, yeah, but there we go. Trying to round this out a little bit. because it could still be there. Like I don't want to like take too much time digging out. And look at this. There's like just this giant pit. So yeah, there's definitely like some interesting looks to all this. Although I should get all the coal because then that heals the pickaxe. But anyways, no. As we make this memorial island, not just for single parents or parents that died, um, well, yeah, dead parents. Like there you go. That's in a nutshell. But also, and how hard it is for the surviving parents to go on raising kids. So, yeah. And also maybe that's why certain people work a little harder because they have to. I mean, so then they work harder in all areas of life or are poorer or something. So, because without two incomes to raise the same amount of kids, you're working with half of the resources. And it's like, and once you break it down to simple math like that, people are like, oh, and they'll nod their head and they're like, okay, so you'll donate to charity? No. And it's like, what? Oh, there's a meme for that too. It's Patrick, and it's where Manta Ray is trying to convince Patrick that it's his wallet. He's like, so this is your wallet. I took it. I'm giving back to you. And Patrick's just so dumb. He's just like not making the connection. Or he's just so dumb in that moment. Sorry. Like, he could be a brilliant genius, but maybe he's tired. Maybe he's hungry. Maybe he's hangry. Maybe he just, something big happened. So he's a little distracted. Or, any number of reasons, like people, because we're giving human characteristics to a starfish at this point, mind you, people can have these traits because they are humanistic traits. Like, people can seem dumb. Oh, yeah. Brr. This is almost like facing my fear, too. I've said it a few times. I had a nightmare as a kid that God killed me in a dream. And that really messed with me, like, really bad for a while. But then I was like, yeah, whatever, it was a dream. But when it seems real, and that's the other thing, too. You need to be skeptical, like, God could exist. And if it is really a God of fire and brimstone, like, okay, but you got to take into account, most likely God doesn't exist. And if it does, or he or she, then they would be forgiving and loving. And this is lightning. This is not God. This is like, even in this game, yeah, I could get struck by lightning. So normally, if this was real life, I would still run inside. Once this would be finished, I'd be in shelter and stay here and maybe go to sleep. Actually, I do have wool, but I don't want to end it because I mean, it's not. It's fine. Like it's the game. But also, I healed up my pickaxe. Ah. But I still don't know how I want, like, I like the ground this level. Like, I definitely like this. And then right here, like, I don't want to waste this dirt. And then even as I said, before, like, you really should light up this, so you should have torches and whatnot. And I do need to get rid of some inventory. A lot of inventory. I feel like I'm doing, like, 3 or 4 different things at once. And even all these tons of saplings falling down. Oops. Yep, still need to empty my inventory. Hey, cow, do you want to be part of Yes, let's put that. So there's the sheep. Oops. Oh, no, I don't want it that deep. Let's see, and I have to sacrifice one of those just to get... Where'd the cow go? There you are. Okay, you come here. Ha, you've been sawed. Nope, nope. There you go. This is Sparta. And actually, I am going to wait until... I was going to say, I'll wait until I have some more wheat to actually feed that cow. Well, no. Yeah, I'll wait. Sorry. That seems all messed up because... Actually, what I should do is I should feed these two. Let's see if I can get... Yep, there we go. So another black one. So we have 2 white, 3 black. So we can start like doing that way. Or once we get dye, we can change the actual color of the sheep. So then it really doesn't matter. Then you get into the sneeches concept. And for those that don't know about the sneeches, and this sucks because or stinks because I really wanted to read Dr. Seuss out loud, just with my deep booming voice, like all that, because I thought it'd be fun. But and again, like James Earl Jones, like they could take my voice, make an AI. I don't have to get any royalties or anything. Like just like use it for entertainment, and like that's fine. Like you know, I mean, or if you're going to like donate it to charity and like actually pay someone, but only if you have it. Like, so these are the things. Like, I feel like everybody would add those caveats if they realized that they needed to be added. But a lot of times you just think that they don't need to be added, and that causes confusion and delay, as Sir Topham Hatt would say in Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, and why I love Bullet Train. Let's talk about Bullet Train. Oh, it's like my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies now. And that actually made my mom a little concerned, like that I had some like mental issue of being too violent. I'm just kidding. I make it sound like I like killed somebody or something. Or like, yeah, remember, big reveal at 1 million subscribers. Or no, 10 million. 10 million. Because I don't know which one's the... Oh, and now it's all peaceful. But it's sunset. Okay, well, whatever. Now I think I'm going to let those... I keep saying that, but we'll leave that alone. We'll leave those alone. Let's start to build up the flower petals. And then we'll have a nice, healthy layer of flower petals on Memorial Island. Oh, yeah, let's get... I keep getting distracted. Let's get the composter going. We haven't even built a house, but let's see. Let's get some wood, and then let's do some slabs. And then toss that, because why not? Actually, there we go. Let's do coal. And then torches. Do we have sticks? Yes. So there we go. So we've got extra torches. Because I like to have a full stack wherever I go. Then I also want to have... Whoops. That wasn't supposed to happen. 61? What? It's glitching. Okay, whatever. Oh, wait, no. Are these torches and levers? Ah, levers. I see. Sorry, that's my mistake. I thought I was making torches. I made levers. Whoops. That was dumb. Anyways, I was surprised to why they weren't combining stacks. But it's weird because when they glitch, they don't usually behave that way. If it's glitching, you can't pick it up. It's like you pick it up, but you don't. So, all right. And then, composter. Well, he's gonna have this out here. Because normally when you find these things in the wild, there's a composter like... Well, actually, even as I say that... I want an auto composter. Like if you give... if you give an engineer no, we'll just go ahead and simulate what we would be doing over here. Okay, there we go. Actually, okay. Do. Nope. Darn it. Oh well. And I shouldn't be wasting too many of those things. I got 43. I believe I still have a stack in reserve. But if not, then... Yeah, I do. So that's okay. And then here we could do that. And then drop off some more of this. We have tons of wood. Let's do 4 stacks here and then... Yeah, and then even these. It's kind of like the different things that you can build with them. And yeah. But really, we need to be harvesting this stuff. Oh, and potatoes. Potatoes. Sorry, that's the other thing I forgot about. When you're farming in Minecraft, you need to alternate your crops. Now, in the real world, you need to alternate or rotate your crops. There we go. So we'll make a row of potatoes and a row of wheat. So there we go. Now we're getting more trees that are starting to drop the leaves. Oh, which also means you never know. I don't want these to become covered. Oops. I don't want them to become covered with leaves and not usable for crops. But since this is the saturated area or zone of saturation caused by, or the radius or the distance affected by water, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this all the way down. Yep, and then now we have an entire, like the maximum amount of surface area that can be affected, or area that can be affected by 2 water blocks or water sources. And that's a farm. And it's tricky because those almost look fully developed, but I think they still need one more. Oh, or actually, maybe I could be wrong. Let's see if they drop a wheat. Nope, I was wrong. Or I was right. They aren't fully developed. So they change yet another color. So it's a little harder to tell in the texture, the city texture pack. And again, this is all city texture. Like, I wonder what it looks like in a normal, like, a normal Minecraft. Because 1.20 just hit recently. Like, this is all new. Waddles just put out his videos on the cherry trees. The cherry, like this. Are these cherry trees? Cherry leaves, cherry sapling. Yeah, cherry. Because acacia trees, oak trees, aspen trees, cherry trees. So it seems to make sense. Like, it seems logical. And then you start sounding like Spock, and then people stop listening to you too much, or they'll roll their eyes because it's something that bores them or is no fun for them because it isn't important, or it isn't even relevant to their survival or their thriving. And another thing I've just been so amazed by with Breaking Bad is just drug cartels. Like, anybody that can try to control through killing people, like, and all that. But then we do it as a country. So it's like, well, what are you talking about? But, oh no, the way we do it is okay because we don't do it at home. We go to other places and do it. And it's like, what? Really? Like, that's scary. Like, I mean, just the fact that we need so many tools of death in the world, which we don't. We don't need guns. Like, we could just get rid of guns overnight. I mean, we'd still keep, like, the design, keep a few of them, but, especially if we ever got invaded by, like, space aliens. But, like, right now, we're trying to kill ourselves, and it's like, what? Why? And then there's the idea of, like, okay, what if we do come in contact with aliens? Like, what if they're just people like us? And their language. Now, see, that's where it gets confusing because then it's like, what would an alien language look like? I mean, a lot of the same structure would be there. Like when I do things like my voice, like raises and lowers in volume and depth, um, speed, when I start becoming more anxious, like, and someone out there somewhere is probably analyzing this speech too, being like, because I've already had my handwriting analyzed as a fun little thing to do for a company I worked for. But it was actually kind of psychotic. It was like, how do we tell who's going to be like a company shooter? How do we tell who's going to be depressed or like, a problem person or, who do we keep an eye on? It's almost like, hey, everybody, hey, gang, we're going to spy on you. And here's a fun project. And same with the ENTFJ or whatever. Like, I got the same rating as the guy that owns the company, but there was only one, and it was a rare one. It was like the leadership one, and it was but the kind of the risk taker. And it's like, and sure enough, I got laid off from that job, and like it was, granted, it was a turnaround. They wanted to get some fresh blood in or whatever, and like I had already burned out kind of in my area, but because there was a lot of work. It wasn't I wasn't working. It was just I was doing a lot of work, but then I didn't want to be there anymore, and like I wasn't doing a lot of the work that they wanted, and it was basically like an office space thing. And then I got laid off, so and it was fine. Like it was a business decision, so I respect it. Doesn't mean I liked it. I mean, I had to scramble and find another job, did some temp jobs, and because they don't just let you know, like, hey, you're being laid off, like, hey, I'm going to lay you off in a month or 2 months, or no, it's like instant, like the decision has come down, like you are going to be laid off, and then you're gone, you're done. So, yeah. And then make room for the next people and then shuffle them in. And that was the thing about the other place I worked at. There was so much turnover because, well, it was weird because the hiring process was so rigorous and you had to like, I mean, you almost had to be a military service person or former military service, but then you also had to have like, you couldn't even smoke tobacco pretty much, like, because I was a cigarette smoker at the time. Oh, well, let me just finish that thought. And they made me pay for the smoking cessation program. And mind you, magic mushrooms have been proven to treat addiction to cigarettes. Oh? Well, are they going to pay for my mushroom therapy? Oh, probably not. Like, no, not until it's more widely known and approved. But yet it works. And then, oh wait, guess what? Native Americans were using peyote for their spiritual rituals, which are hallucinogenics that make you see perspective, a different perspective. And when we say it all like that, it's like, oh no, they're using drugs. Like, oh, they're drug dealers or drug users. It's like, no, they're trying to solve problems in a different way. They're trying to get a different perspective. And then you got like the drug cartels and stuff that they only care about the bottom dollar there, and they need the fast money faster. It's like, oh well, we could do like like cocaine or meth or heroin or like the harder stuff, and then it's like, all right. And I'm sure they even dabble in hallucinogenics too, like anything that can make money. And the bigger money, the bigger the legality, the bigger the money. That's why most like drug cartels they stuck to marijuana. Like back in my day, I remember like the drug superhighway that went through Colorado was basically like there was a lot of weed coming through there, tons and tons of weed. And it's like, wait a minute, now it's legal mostly everywhere, so what's the big deal? Ah, then they had to graduate to the other things. See, they didn't want to be dealing a bunch of meth and coke. Like, nobody at the beginning of the day is like, I'm gonna go get into like these hard drugs and all this. No, it just doesn't happen. So right there, just because of the poor communication and understanding the macroeconomics view of crime, the macroeconomics and the socioeconomic impacts of certain policies and why people do crime. That's it. They're trying to get resources. They're trying to get these resources for their family, for themselves, and then they're trying to trickle down on each other. Like, see, right there, because they don't think that their cup is ever full, so they continue to take and take and take, and then they get violent because, wait, no, I'm not done yet. I still need to take more, and then they'll argue with people that are like, actually, you've had enough. You need to save some for the rest of us. And then there's the violence and the power struggles and all that. So there you go, humanity in a nutshell. Listen to some Shakespeare or listen to some A-Rye. Like, oh, I'm just kidding. That's horrible. That is horrible. Shakespeare's good. Pretty good stuff. I mean, a little weird with Juliet, but like that's just it. Like raging hormones and how they could be homicidal and deadly unintentionally, and yet, oh, surprise, surprise, when it happens in real life. Oh, this is nice. And we don't even have a lot of. There we go. This is a different color, and that means, oh, where's my seeds? I didn't get the seeds. Oh well. At least I have some going. Then we'll have potatoes. Okay, I was like, where did my other potato go? All right, this place is really coming along, and I will fix this. I just did that because I think it's like this level, and then, so you can have it here, and then have a hopper, which, if you play paintball, it makes sense. The hopper loads the stuff at the top. So then you could have a chest, a hopper, the compost, a hopper, a chest, and then that chest is where you get all of your bone meal. So, yeah. Anyways, ta-ta for now. That's good. I'm going to go do some projects, maybe even go do some Python. So, until next time, see you later.